So, hi friends, this is the training program which I have assembled basically for all the new engineers joining Santram. So, we'll discuss about two things here. One of them is regarding what premium holds for you. That is what products of premium we offer and the basic of their technical part. Okay. So basically, what is a gearbox? Okay, so I'll be sharing with you from the basics. Like we have joined Santram and we are probably discussing about all the types of gearboxes. So what type of gearboxes you see in the market? What is their basic types? Differences between all of them? What series we have? How do you select a gearbox? How do you name a gearbox? Then what are the different mountings of the gearbox application wise? Then what other accessories are to be added to it? Then all the maintenance part, that is what preventive maintenance a customer needs to do, okay, in order to get those things clear. Means the product should run efficiently in the market for the next 10 years at least. Whoever buys a gearbox from you, he expects you to have at least a life of around 10 to 15 years for the gearbox. So selection should be done accordingly. Okay. So first of all, let us start with what is a gearbox. Okay. So what is a gearbox? A gearbox is basically what uh, power transmission does. Okay. So it's the main link from the motor to the machine. Why can't we run like from the motor directly? Because motor basically converts from electrical to mechanical. Only the conversion takes place, but the torque, the main parameter, is not actually increased. So torque increaser is the main role of the gearbox. So most of you might be knowing what is torque. So let me first define torque for you. So torque is basically the force into displacement. Okay, displacement and force, what are the relations? Force is Newton, so that is the force which is required to move that shaft of the machine or to move the object on the output side of any gearbox. And what is the displacement? That is the rotational displacement in our case. Hence we come with the term torque, and the unit of torque is Newton meter. Then electric motor will be your prime mover. Prime mover means the one which basically provides the rotational motion to the input shaft of the gearbox. So this prime mover is basically the heart of the machinery, from where the current flows into electrical energy, and the rotor stator arrangement gives it into a mechanical energy using an electromagnetic mechanism. Okay, so electric motor which we use in the industrial side is phase, that is three phase. It's a LT motor segment mostly. In bigger applications, it is HT motors. So that is the basic terminology. Apart from that, torque transmission. You know how does torque transmission takes place? So torque transmission takes place between the output shaft of the motor and input shaft of the gearbox. Okay, so the input shaft of the gearbox is basically the worm shaft. Okay, let me show you what's a worm shaft is. So here I've kept some windows open for you to understand this. So basically these points will be lying here, but we'll understand what it is. So see, as you can see in these many images, worm shaft is basically this one. So it's a threaded shaft, okay, which is made up of hardened and ground material. So it's a very good high quality steel that is known as, mostly they use EN24 or EN353, or in some cases now SAE 8620 they use. Okay, so that is the worm shaft, and its main companion is called the worm wheel. As you can see, the worm wheel, it is a phosphorus bronze wheel. so which is attached to the casting, or you can say uh, what do you call it, is either shrink fit, or it is either poured into it and then the hobbing and cutting procedure takes place, or it is bolted. You can see the holes where it is bolted. So depending on customers or design of every company, it changes. Okay, so basically these are all uh, worm shaft and worm wheel. So this is the oldest form of technology that is used to transmit power. Okay, so this is one thing. The next question is speed reducer. What? So let's talk about speed here again. So I'll just take the text parts again and we'll continue with this here. So speed. Speed is measured in RPM, so revolutions per minute. Okay, that is the speed of the shaft. And input speed is always greater than output. Okay, so output speed means the speed with which, in this case, the wheel will rotate. Okay, the output side of any gearbox is this wheel. So this wheel will be always in the slower speed and this will be in the faster speed. So this faster speed is the input shaft or the worm shaft, and the slower shaft is wheel is the worm wheel, that is known as phosphorus bronze worm wheel. And the worm wheel has an output shaft installed here in the center by fitting on the press, as you can see here in this case. And this whole arrangement is lying on four bearings. Okay, the type of bearing is not our point right now, but at the end the result will be it's a worm gearbox. So it's inside a box. So that box is known as a worm gearbox. So that is our main product. See, these are all different types of worm gearbox portrayed over here. The first one is ours. Second one is of Shanti. Third is of Helicon. You know, these are all our competitors. This is ourselves. Okay. So the Helicon design is a square body, as you can see here. Our design is a more of a rugged finish and it's a strong body. That is our design, and it has a split casing, while Helicon NU series do not have a split casing. So in this case, like this one, if they want to open it, they have to open this plate. This is the end cover plate, and then they have to remove the internals, and it is not very easy and convenient. While in our case, this is the half casing. It is like if you open this 6 bolts, the open upper half will easily removed and the lower half can be separated. So upper and lower half are separate. So that is a big bonus that we have in our design. Okay, so these are the horizontal gearboxes. As you can see, these are horizontal. Why? Because they have uh, output shaft is parallel to the ground. Okay, this output shaft is parallel to the ground, and in vertical, let me show you one example of a vertical gearbox. So these are all horizontal gearboxes in the image. As you can see, this one is a vertical gearbox. So vertical gearbox has output shaft perpendicular to the ground. So always when you select or you see a gearbox on site, check input shaft is parallel to the ground. Yes, always in any case. And output shaft is perpendicular to the ground, then it is vertical upward or vertical downward. So if it is upward, it is known as vertical upward worm gearbox, and if it is horizontal like this, parallel to the ground, then it is known as horizontal gearbox. Okay. So these are all forms of gearboxes of different brands. As you can see, I have just googled them for your understanding. Okay. The company side Santram Engineers has certain points to why worm gearboxes and what you should know about them. Okay, so these are the main points which you can study. The basic things which I already explained. So this worm gearbox is basically the oldest technology, where here there will be the input shaft. This will be the output shaft. So this is underside. So it is known as an under-driven horizontal worm gearbox. The whole catalog we will study soon. So let me just go through one part, that is speed reducer. So what we were talking, that input speed is always greater than output speed. That means the reduction of speed is taking place. That is the main part of any gearbox. Either it is worm, helical, planetary, cycloidal, all are speed reducers. In In industrial applications, speed increases, you will hardly see any speed increases. Okay, so that is one benefit which I am discussing over here. Now we'll talk about the next thing which is very important. Here we have mentioned it on the later part, but we'll cover it before everything else because that is very important. What is the ratio of the gearbox? Ratio of any gearbox is basically the input speed upon output speed. So you have to understand, if the gearbox ratio is suppose 20 is to 1, means that input shaft rotates 20 times to get one rotation of the output shaft. Normally electric motor, it is either 4 pole or 6 pole in the market. Okay, so 4 pole motor is basically 1500 rpm, or as they say as 1440 rpm, and for 6 pole it is 960 rpm or 1000 rpm. It's one and the same. So what happens in this case, for 20 is to 1 ratio, the input speed is 1440 divided by 20, so equal to, so 1440 divided by 20, it is equal to 72. 72 is your output rpm. In other words, if inquiry is such that they have given like I need 100 rpm output, okay, so what would you do? You will take 1440 divided by 100, so your answer will be 14.4, means round it up to 15. So 15 is to 1 is the ratio, so you have to select it. That is the key of the ratio. Okay, input speed upon output speed, say 5 times, remember it, ratio. Client do not understand what is ratio, but you should understand the ratio, meaning of ratio. If a client gives you output rpm like 100, then also it is enough for you to decide ratio is 15, but subject to the motor is 1440 rpm. That you should always remember. Never forget to ask these questions. Okay, so that is one thing. So next, let us discuss more about what to ask. Okay, first, motor power, that is measured in HP or kilowatt. Remember, 1 HP is equal to how many kilowatt? 0.75 kilowatt. And reverse, you can decide immediately. For example, 5 HP multiplied by 0.75 means 3.7 kilowatt. If it is 10 HP multiplied by 0.75 matlab 7.5 kilowatt. If he has given 11 kilowatt, divide by 0.75, it will give you 15 HP. Okay, so that conversion you should know from 0.25 HP till 100 HP on your lips by heart. Prepare this table and keep it with you on your table or on your desk and use it every time, because this table is very important. I think after 1 month you don't need this table, you will be very familiar with it, but initially you will definitely need it. Next, we are talking about module and backlash. These are the terminology which is used inside. So inside in the sense, when the gearbox design part, that is not in our hands. We sell the gear box, we do not sell the gear. Okay, so gear box may, you have to understand that these parts are not changeable, means once they have came, they will not be able to change it. So module is an internal design in which the gearbox design is such that the life of the gearbox, the ratio of the gearbox, the wear and tear, the roughing or the scuffing, all these factors are affected by the module of the gearbox. Same way backlash. Backlash is like the small gap between two teeth. Okay. So this backlash is very normal thing. If every product needs to have a backlash. Okay. So for example, let me show you in an image so it would be better. See here you can see like very zoomy, very zoomy image I need one. Yeah, this one is perfect. See here these two are matching. So this point where there is some gap in between. So when you hold the input shaft and you move it, there will be some movement. That is because of the backlash. That is like it's a small play, but not actual a play. Play is a bad word. It's not actually considered as a backlash, but it is that small movement. Even in worm gearbox, even if it's a helical gearbox, that small movement is possible because there is some gap in between these teeth, so it keeps some gap. If it is too tight or backlash is very less, then it will get worn out easily. If the backlash is too much, the vibration and jerks will take place, so you won't be able to increase the life of the gearbox. The wheel will turn out wear out very easily. Okay, so backlash has too many important parts. So what the backlash of the gearbox is very important. If somebody asks, you can get that details from the design. Okay, so these details also are available in the design. Then the next thing, types of gearbox. So this is the worm gearbox. We will study this worm gearbox first. Okay, so worm gearbox I will explain to you from the catalog. Okay, and we'll just take down notes along with it. So this session, first session, will just start with the worm gearbox. This is the basic form of gearbox. I have kept open many slides to show you what a worm gearbox is. As you can see, the main point is it is a 90-degree gearbox. So input and output are on 90-degree. Okay, as you can see in this image, the vertical, horizontal, both options are available. So this is the horizontal, this is the vertical model. Okay, so these are all models available, and there are various competitors, local and branded in the market. So will not go there. One thing is sure, we can discuss is, yeah, this is the catalog. So now we'll discuss what is worm gearbox and its selection. As I said earlier, this is the worm shaft, this is the worm wheel, and this is all installed in this whole uh, case. Okay, so this is basically the whole worm gearbox, and this is the worm shaft. This is the worm wheel. This is the bearing. Same side on the opposite side. One bearing is here and same on this side. So this is the cut section view, and you can see what will be the level of oil once it is closed. This is the level of oil. Here this is the fan. This is the fan cover. Okay, so these are the basic. This one is called the breather. This is the breather arrangement. So when this oil churns fast, so it releases the heat, and that heat can come out from here. Okay, so that is all important points of this product. Then I can show you some other points as well. Just a minute. This is called the fan cover. This is made up of plastic. This is fan, it is made up of plastic. This fan basically moves, it is on this shaft itself, so it moves with the same speed as the worm shaft. So here there will be a coupling, this will be the motor shaft, and this will be the big motor. Okay, so this arrangement has coupling in between, So always a worm gearbox 99% will have motor foot mounted over here on its foot, and this will be output shaft of motor, input shaft of gear, and this will be a small coupling in between. Okay, and this gearbox do also have one oil indicator. It's not in this image. I can show you in another image. That oil indicator is important. Okay, this you can see is a small. This is two half of the casing. Okay, here the casing breaks. So this casing half has one scraper over here. So that part is known as scraper. So that will take the oil out from the borders of this wheel and again drop that oil in below. So the oil will keep changing. Okay. So that is the basic of this. And then the other part is selection. So, irrespective of any brand, how selection is done, I'll show you. See, first of all, let me write down some important points in this image. This is the main image. Okay, so the first image shows these are the smaller gearboxes. Okay, so smaller gearboxes are ranging from a 112 model to a 337, means around 1 inch to 3.5 inch. The bigger size are from 400 model to 1800. Let me give you that. And this bigger heavy duty are from 1000 to 1700. Actually, they have developed 2000 to 20 inch. So basically, what are the sizes? How can you know what size it is? Let me explain to you. Okay. So let us you keep this in mind, and the ratios vary from 5:1 to 70:1. Okay, it cannot be a bigger ratio. Okay, in all cases. Okay, so let me tell you about those sizes which I discussed. That is inches. अभी inches इसमें कहाँ पे है? Okay, so let us see first basically from this till this. Okay, this is in the line with the bomb shaft, and this is the output shaft. So this distance from the center of the output shaft, okay, from here, okay, till here. So that distance, perpendicular distance is in inches. 1 inch is equal to how many mm? 1 inch is equal to 25.6 mm. Okay, so basically 6 inch gearbox is basically equal to 25 into 6, so approximately 150 mm. Okay. So that is the distance between the center of this shaft and the center of this shaft. This shaft is based on the wheel, and this is the worm shaft. Okay, so that is the basic terminology. And 1 inch in premium, it is defined as 112. And suppose 6 inch, it is defined as 600. Suppose 4 inch means approximate it is 100 mm. So that is defined as 400. 12 inch is 1200. Okay. So that is how the models have came up. Okay. And this one's also it is good if you remember the MM ones that will come into handy into Ultra series. Ultra series is also warm series, but it is in ALM series where everything is modeled by the name using MM terminology. While here inch into 100, that is what they have followed. Okay, so inch into 100 they have followed in this case. In case of worm gearbox. Okay. So basically, let me start off with the catalog again. Here is the catalog. So these are the adaptables. We call them adaptables because their foot As you can see, let me spot that for you. This foot, these foots are made up of bolted parts, so you can bolt it, remove the bolt, uh, mount it here, and then it will be vertical. So same gearbox can be vertical, can have output shaft on the downer side and the input on the upper side, and can have input in the lower and the output on the upper. So this is basically under driven, this is basically over driven, and this is vertical upper. So these all options are actually removable. That's why they are known as adaptable. So that's an adaptable type of gearbox, and these are solid body. So the footing is not separate; it is in the same casting. It's a unicast body. Okay, the whole heavy one and the solid foot one. So the name is itself is solid foot. Okay, so that is one thing. Now the other thing we can discuss over here is the next page. That is the important part. That is the safety factor. So let me now introduce to you the one of the most important terms in the selection of a gearbox. That is known as safety factor of the gearbox, also known as factor of safety. Okay. So what is that? Basically, for example, let me give you an example, very good example. There is a 5 HP 1440 RPM foot mounted motor, and then you have to get 100 RPM output speed. Okay, so here motor HP is 5, so 5 to kilowatt is 3.7 kilowatt, and application, you know that it is a conveyor application, small conveyor. Okay, in conveyor application, what is the load? That chart also it is given over here. See, I can show you that chart. See, these are the charts. For example, in conveyor application, you can see. Yeah, okay. So apron conveyor, it is basically U. U means uniform load. So it is a light duty application. So in light duty application, the difference between the motor HP of the motor and the gearbox capacity will be almost same. So if it is a 5 HP motor, means it is a 3.7 kilowatt motor. Okay, and safety factor will be only 1 because it is light duty. So light duty safety factor is 1. So our gearbox selected is, that is important. The gearbox selection will be same capacity as motor. So means 3.7 kilowatt. So here it says, see, 100 RPM, you can see 100 RPM, 1500 input RPM is also mentioned over here. 1500 RPM, 100 RPM means 15 is to 1 ratio. The capacity of the gearboxes are given over here, and these are the size of the gearboxes. Okay, so basically we are looking for something near to 3.7. So what is near to 3.7? Let us see. So here it is 3.71. Perfect. 3.71, model is 287, ratio is 15. So what is the nomenclature? The most important thing you should learn is the nomenclature. Most of you know what is the meaning of nomenclature. Nomenclature means basically type of the gearbox, then size, then ratio, and then mount. So type is A, adaptable. Small size 287 we selected. So it is 287. Ratio was 15 is to 1 for 100 RPM, and it's a horizontal gearbox conveyor application. So we know it is LA11 or RA11. So basically this now comes into picture. What is this mounting? So let's talk about the mounting part. So I understand the selection is clear to you, how I selected the model. Okay, for one safety factor we did 1500 input, 100 RPM output, 15:1 ratio. 3.7 is closest to the motor power, so safety factor is 1. Model is 287. Now the mounting part. So for mounting part, there are different options. For that, let me open in another catalog. Only for this example, we are still going into this. So we will learn 2-3 examples and then I'll let you be on your own. Okay. Okay, so this catalog is worm selection with dimensions. So this is about the dimensions. So here, as you can see, the mounting positions are very clearly shown. Okay, so that easy to change out. These are about solid foot, and I can open the same for. Okay, so see here it is. This is the different types of mountings of a adaptable series. Adaptable series catalog. Here is the drawing. Basically, what happens? Mounting is the critical part. So let us explain that. The other things are very easy to understand. So mounting of a gearbox. See, you understood 8 to 8, 7, 15 to 1. Okay, that is the type, size, ratio, mounting. Okay, so type, size, ratio, you got it. So basically in every gearbox, type, size, ratio, and mounting will come into picture. Any gearbox, not worm, helical, planetary, circulating, whatever. So in this case, we have type, size, and ratio. So that is clear. Now the mounting part I will explain to you. So first is the foot number one. Foot number one are the foot which are used to mount the gearbox into horizontal position. Let me remove these things so you can see much more clearly. Okay. So here I am again. Let me show you through a pointer. Okay. So these are the foot. Okay, so that foot is bolted. You can see the bolt over here. So that bolted part is actually giving it a position in horizontal. That is foot number one. So this foot number one, basically if it is connected into this one first of all, so you can see the from input shaft, the output shaft is on the right side. See, here is the output shaft and this is the input. So input से देखेंगे खड़े रह के तो output इधर है. Okay, so इधर से ऐसे. So that part is known as RA11 because RA and foot number 1, so RA11. Okay, if it was like this one, so here the output shaft from input, if you stand and see, the output is on the left side, so it is known as LA11. This is only applicable, again I am saying, this is only applicable for models 1 inch to 3.5 inch, yani 337 model. Okay, so in between there are what models? 162-200-237-287-337. The total 6 models are there into adaptable. So this will apply for all 6 models. Okay, that is one thing to remember. Foot number 1, as you saw, foot number 1 is basically for horizontal mounting. Now foot number 2, as you can see the gearbox, same gearbox of LARA you can put into sleeping position and it will become foot number 2. So foot number 2 positions are this one, RC23, RD24, LC23 or LD24. Okay. Now what is the difference? I am going to type each and every place. So this is basically RC23. मतलब it is vertically upward and input से खड़े रह के देखोगे तो output in the right side, but कब? When it is in this initial position, because in foot number 1 आपको gearbox आएगा and then you have changed the foot to 2. So that is RC23. You can keep this page print in record, so this will help you in the mounting. Okay. This is RD. The RD is normally written as RD24. Okay. LC is written as LC23 and LD is written as LD24. Okay, so these are basically four. RA was RA11, and LA was LA11. Okay, and the fourth last is the position 3. This is hardly used, so if it comes into picture you will be able to understand position 3, but normally for all horizontal gearboxes the point is position 1, and for all vertical gearboxes position 2, foot number 2. Okay, so that is very clear for every adaptable. So that is the mounting part. So whole selection is clear. Everyone speak with me 5 times, then you will be able to actually remember this. For any selection, it is either type, size, ratio, mounting. If you have these 4 things, you are done. Selection is done. You can see the quotation through a price list, discount structure, see the stock, view the position, negotiate, close the order, take the payment, it's done. So this is the key to everything. Okay. So now let me show you let's move forward. So what does the next thing shows? Let's see. Okay, so basically worm gearbox, you understood what is the torque transmission, what is the mounting. Okay, now let's talk about the efficiency part. For worm gearbox, let me put a picture of worm gearbox in front of you so you get a feel of it. Okay, okay. This is a bigger one, this image is a bigger one, so a smaller one as well. So basically here, what is the efficiency now? The worm gearbox, the efficiency formula is 100 minus ratio divided by 2. So basically, if your ratio is 50, then the efficiency of that gearbox will be 75%. So that efficiency is very low compared to any helical gearbox. Normally, if it is a helical gearbox, the efficiency is 98%. So that you can see worm gearbox, why it is an older technology. Okay, because worm gear efficiency is less. So if the ratio was 70 and the RPM, what do you call, efficiency would have been reduced to even further 65%. Okay. So as the ratio increases, the worm gear's efficiency decreases. Okay. Ratio, speed, torque. Let me give you a relationship. Ratio increases, speed decreases, torque increases. Okay, that is the link. Then you can even say size. If you are keeping HP constant, okay, the motor power is constant. And ratio increases, then the size will also increase. Okay, so the size will increase, saying that for given 5 HP, if I was selecting for 20:1 and the speed of the output will be around 70 RPM, then my model and the torque of that model, suppose here for 5 to 20:1, the model would have been A337. Okay. So A337 size will increase when I will increase the ratio. Now suppose the ratio is 50:1. Then the speed of the gearbox will be reduced to 30 RPM. उसके लिए फिर selection I have to select a bigger gearbox like U500 यानी 5 इंच का gearbox. तो 5:20 के रेशियो में गियर बॉक्स बनता है 337, दैट वुड हैव कॉस्टेड द क्लाइंट अराउंड 15,000 रुपीज, जबकि 5:80 में 50 का रेशियो में जो 5 इंच का गियर बॉक्स बनता है दैट विल कॉस्ट हिम अराउंड 40,000 रुपीज. तो 15,000 और 40,000, द डिफरेंस इज ह्यूज. दैट डिफरेंस कम्स इनटू पिक्चर व्हेन यू आर सिलेक्टिंग बेस्ड ऑन द आरपीएम कीपिंग द एचपी कांस्टेंट. ऐसे सिलेक्शन, ठीक है. Let me show you now the catalog and one example only. This was the adaptable catalog which we went through. These are all dimensions. Okay, dimensions, I hope you all know how to see. Now the standard gearbox selection. So here we did one selection, let's do another. So you get it more clear. That would be more or less enough. See here, this was the page 1. Now this is the page 2. Here you can see 1000 RPM is mentioned. Means the input speed has been changed to 1000 RPM. So let's put that in the picture and let's start. So input speed is 1000 RPM. So here, suppose motor HP we have selected 20 HP. Final RPM of the gearbox required is given 40. Okay, so what will be the ratio? 1000 divided by 40. So finally you will get 25 is to 1. Perfect. And here the motor HP is 20, means in kilowatt it will be equal to 15. Okay, then comes into picture the next thing is the selection. Okay, so basically you will select based on final RPM or the ratio. So let's see here. Here you can see 25 is to 140 RPM, kilowatt capacity 3.1. Here did you check the application? Not yet. So what is the application? Because safety factor will come into picture as we discussed. So application is given like a drum mix plant of road construction. Okay, what is a drum mix plant? Let me show you. See here, as you can see in this page, I already loaded. These are drum mix plant. As you can see here, one gearbox is attached and it rotates the whole drum through this chain sprocket thing, big chain sprocket thing. Okay, so this is basically drum mix plant. It's a heavy application comparatively. So safety factor if you keep in mind is around 1.5. So 1.5 if we keep in mind and we do the selection part. So let's go back to the catalog. So 1.5 any it is 15 kilowatt into 1.5. 15 into 1.5 will give you 22. So here the point will be SF safety factor will be 1.5 and required kilowatt capacity should be around 22 kilowatt. Then you can say that here 22 kilowatt anybody can see in 25 to 1. No, yeah, this is 21.1. That is nearest. Okay. So what will be the resultant output? 21.1 kilowatt capacity. So safety factor कितना आया? 21.1 divided by 15. That is 1.40, 1.41. So here the model. What are the four things? Type, size, ratio, mounting. Okay, so type, size, ratio, mounting, how will you define here? It is a horizontal application. Ratio is 25 to 1. Type you have done, that is horizontal, that is U type basic underdriven. Size, what was the selection? 21 is 800, so that is U 800. Ratio 25 to 1, left and right hand. How will you see that? As you all know, we do in the worm gearbox mounting. So basically how we are doing the mounting here. So when you are standing on the input, output is on the left side. So the mounting is LH. Okay. So here it will be left hand. Okay. So this is the model U800 25 to 1 left hand. Clear? It's a simple one. Now let's move forward. The two selections we have done, you can go through this whole catalog. These are all applications. Safety factor will be uniform means light duty, moderate means 1.5 safety factor, and heavy means 2 safety factor. Okay, so this whole catalog at different input speeds, different sizes is given. You can even join two gearboxes and make a bigger ratio. Okay, what I explained to you earlier, if the ratio is from 5 to 70 is to 1, this many options, so it goes like 5, 7.5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. But if you need 100, then you cannot get 100 like this. You need to do double reduction. So what is double reduction? Basically, double reduction is basically joining two gearboxes. So in this case, I can show you, see, two gearboxes are combined. So what will happen? This gearbox output shaft will be the input shaft for the bigger gearbox. So that is a double reduction. So let me point out what are those. One is the UD type, second is the VD type, third is the OD type. It may be AVD, it may be AVD. Okay. So double reduction, if it is in horizontal condition like this, it's UD. If it is in overdriven condition like this, it is already known as OD. If it is vertical, then VD. If it is more than this, if it is in adaptable sizes, that it is known as AUD, ADD, AVD. Okay, so that is clear. Then comes the BSU. BSU has a small helical stage installed, but this is hardly sold. So if any inquiry comes for a heliworm gearbox in bigger sizes, come to me. I'll show you what BSU is. Okay. Till that BSU we hardly sell like once in a year. Then that's it. And apart from this, let me discuss with you some of the extra type of gearboxes or accessories which come with this. Okay, so that will end our warm session. Give me another 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. So the other major accessories, which comes with the warm gearbox, let's discuss that. First, let's see where we reached. Okay, so now we know all about the mounting, efficiency, torque transmission, UVA. Okay, so basically we have covered warm gearboxes. Now there's HDS, SDS, SLA, VSM, USM. I'll explain to you this five. These are the non-standard application-specific gearboxes of warm. Okay, so let's go into that. So catalogs, we do have a catalog for stirrer duty. What is basically a stirrer duty gearbox? Stirrer duty is the one which is used in stirrers. Stirrers means like a vessel in which you have to mix something in it. So it's called stirrer duty. So the motor is not always mounted like this in the top. It can be coupled from the side as well, like here. Okay, the motor can be like somewhere like 190 degrees from here. Okay, so that is something different. Apart from that, this stirrer duty has this whole blade to rotate. So this blade rotation is something which needs the strength in the output gearbox shaft. So the output shaft is basically this one. So standard output shaft is this one. This, as you mentioned, it's standard. Now, if somewhere this shaft is not enough, it's weak because output shafts are soft. They are made up of EN8 or EN9 material. So if you need a very good quality, high tensile strength shaft, so what do? Instead of this, they go for SDS, standard duty stirrer, that is called SDS units. So they have wider taper roller bearings in them, and output shaft is made up of high tensile steel. Apart from that, heavy duty stirrers, they have the same taper roller bearing wider, and they even have an extra bearing inside. So the extra bearing on the output side adds to the HDS part, that is the heavy duty stirrer, and the shaft diameter is also increased. Here the only shaft material was changed. Here the shaft diameter is also changed. So that is, this one is basically SDS series, and this one is HDS. Okay, so these are two different types of series. This is HDS. And now moving on, next is the SLA type. Lift machine. Have you seen, or everyone of you have seen any lift machines in your life? See, this one gearbox is in a dryer application. So it is coupled. Here is the pulley, and this pulley, small pulley is on the motor. So this is one of the applications of one gearbox. I can show you some another application. See, these are the chemical stirrers. For this, which we needed the HDS, SDSC. Here is the worm gearbox with the whole red frame. The motor is mounted or foot mounted on the side, and it is then two pulleys are used and a belt drive. It gives drive, and this shaft is the main. This uh, would be the main, like a stirrer blade here, and there will be like blades like this inside. So these blades will do the stirring. So this is basically a chemical application. Paint, chemical plants, they all have these applications. Okay, so this is the oldest design, one boxes. But now these designs have been uh, substituted by the inline helical. As you can see, these are the inline helical gearboxes in which the motor is mounted directly. Okay, so those are the helical which will come as we move forward. So that is the stirrer thing. Now SLA units is something which I still need to cover. Let me show you what I have covered. I covered these, then HDS, SDS, SLA I will cover, and VSM. Okay. So now let's go with SLA. See, SLA is basically lift duty elevator application. So this shaft will be actually lengthened like this. It will be extended. Okay. Here there will be on the opposite side there will be a bush bearing. So this here you can put a bearing, pillow bearing, and here there will be a big drum. That drum will be a sheave. There will be grooves on it on which the wire can be put, and this gearbox whole system will become a lift machine. So let me show you what a lift machine is, so you will be more understanding what SLA is. The lift machine is basically used in lifts, obviously, but there are certain different designs of lift machines, and what SLA units are, that I will just point out to you. So here, as you can see, these are all smaller units in which the motors are directly mounted. So none of them are SLA. Actually, for SLA, you need something like it's more of like BSL. This one. See, the gearbox is mounted separately. This is like a O type gearbox. In SLA it will be from bottom, that this motor is taken on the higher side, it won't be on the higher side. It is in the same line. So this output shaft has this big sleeve on it. So the output shaft is supported by a bearing on the other side. See, like this. This is the pedestal bearing on the other side. And this is the long output shaft of the one gearbox. Basically, this is called elevator application, that is known as SLA units. Okay, so that is done. And now the VSM USM type. So VSM USM type, let me show you if I have it on here. I think I can have it. It's a hollow shaft mount. See, like this one over here. This is a hollow output, so it is U underdriven, so USM. If it would have been mounting vertical, so it would have been VSM. So output hollow also possible like this. Okay, so that is basically one gearbox. Let me show you one drawing of VSM. See, here is the VSM unit. This is the VSM unit with output hollow. So it can be OSM, USM, VSM is the one and the same thing. All the gearboxes from 4-inch SM 400 to SM 1200. So USM 400, USM 500 or VSM 1200, all are one and the same. So that is all the one gearboxes which we are dealing with right now for standard one.